Attorney General is partners in a law firm that if you go hire them to do your taxes and to certify them, no one touches you. Oh, and their lawyer says you don't have to pay tax, Mr. Romney. Their lawyer says Obama doesn't have to partly pay any taxes. And then they go put them in offshore corporations. Again, because these are criminals. Let's go ahead and go to the CNN clip that got me so mad. Here it is, in your face, telling you that you've given tens of trillions to the banks, but you haven't done enough. All the hundreds of taxes you pay in different ways, fines, fees, hidden taxes, it's not enough. Now your health care is under the IRS set up. We had 10% growth rates on average before the IRS was set up in 1913. Wasn't even implemented until the late 40s. They said, oh, it's a temporary wartime tax. We take some money out of your account. You pay taxes with tolls and tariffs and regulations and gas taxes and all these other things. That's what runs the government. I mean, my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, I drive all over this country and I see cops every mile. And they're there to raise revenue. They're there to burn out the country. They're there to bankrupt the nation. Again, I can't even go to our family ranch that we've had since 1830 and just be camping on it without 6, 7, 8 game wardens running in going, we're federally deputized, we're visiting everybody, and bucking their chest out like getting off on ego, like they're trying to scare you, and it's like they're little clown idiots. I'm like, take your cancer viruses, drink your fluoride, pal. Okay? I'm not scared of you. Just give your kids shots, let them have seizures, and bury them. You like being a slave? Listen, you little slug, you're not over anybody. You're being murdered by the New World Order, you bug-eyed idiot. This country is just, again, love it, love it. It's all going to collapse by design. The New World Order is going to destroy all of you that serve it. You want it? Don't worry. You're going to get everything you want, all of it. The Germans got what they wanted, 20 million of their people killed for serving Hitler. The Russians thought, well, the small group that supported communists, and don't worry, the Russians killed over 40 million of their people. Mao over 60. Don't worry. You want to get hurt bad? They're going to hurt you. And you servants of this, you're going to get hurt the worst. So enjoy. One word, enjoy. 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 Here's the clip. Here is the clip of CNN and this witch. Here it is.
Solicitor General tells the Supreme Court representing the Obama administration it is in fact a tax. It'll be administered by the IRS. It'll be collected on April 15th. Why can't you acknowledge that it is in fact a tax?
Because it's a penalty. It's not a tax. It's a penalty that if you decide to be irresponsible and continue to refuse to carry health insurance and make us all pay for your being irresponsible, then you can do that. You know, we're not going to actually require that you have health insurance. What we're saying is if you choose not to carry health insurance, then you will be assessed a penalty that will be assessed on your tax return, and that affects about 1% of Americans who choose to do that.
So Donald Verrilli, the Solicitor General, was wrong? He didn't tell the truth to the Supreme Court?
No, on the contrary. But the way we usually think of taxation, Wolf, is that taxation, as the IRS administers it, is collected on broad swaths and large categories of individuals. This is a penalty that will be assessed on the tax return if you choose to roll the dice and make us all pay for your being irresponsible and increase all of our health care costs. We're not going to tolerate that anymore in America. You have to be responsible, and you're going to pay a penalty if you choose not to be.
I have one final question. Why is the IRS administering this if it's not a tax? Isn't that their job to impose taxes, to collect taxes, to punish people who don't pay taxes?
Well, because administratively, that's really the easiest, most basic way to do it. It's the same way that they do it in Massachusetts. The Department of Revenue in Massachusetts.
All right, let's stop right there. Turn that witch off. Turn that enemy of this country off, that occupier off. And she is an occupier by the foreign banks. They're rolling in administrative tax collectors in Greece and places, just shaking people down right now. Notice when I had the TSA guy go, I'm going to grope you a few months ago, I said, that's a Fourth Amendment violation. He said, I have administrative privileges, and smiled. See, it's administrative. It's maritime. We got guys in uniforms that if you don't pay us are going to come with guns. and we're going to throw you in a prison. By the way, a well-known activist, former bigwig in UK Independence Party, kind of like the leader of their Tea Party over there. We have an article by Paul Watson breaking it all down. Man arrested, tried in secret for non-payment of tax. And it was a special star chamber. They just arrested him, took him, and the same day tried him in some secret trial. They just said, he's gone now. Yes, he had a secret trial. This is in the news. He's gone now. He's gone now. You're just gone now. Bye-bye. Gone now. Gone now. And, of course, they told you, NDAA, we'll kill you. We'll disappear you. Everything. And this is freedom. And then we got some witch going, you will behave yourself. You will comply. We will no longer tolerate you. What's her exact quote? What is Witchy Poo's exact quote here? This is a penalty that will be assessed on the tax return if you choose to roll the dice and make us all pay for your being irresponsible and increase all of your health care costs. And let me tell you, most of the people I know that have the IRS taking their house, it's a 2-bedroom, their kids are all in high school or they're elderly. I know a lot of people right now who live in the poor part of town. And the IRS is coming back and saying, yeah, it shows 5 years ago you made this $1,000 and we say you didn't pay on it right, so now it's $10,000. And they don't have $10,000. And so now they start grabbing their Social Security check, or they start grabbing their bank check, or they start taking money out of their bank account. And then they just come take the house. And it's like, oh, you just be homeless or move in with your family, move in with your neighbors. It's a squeezing. It's a crushing. And it's not going to stop. They're going to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze because they like doing it. And they love lying to you. It's part of their religion of disdain for the cattle. You notice the Supreme Court says, the Solicitor General, it is a tax. It's enforced by the IRS to pay it to the subsidiaries of the Federal Reserve. They're big insurance companies. I've been telling you for 2 years, it's a tax to the bankers. What is it now? You're going to get this, or the IRS is going to hit you with penalties and interest. No judge, no jury, no due process. What's the Constitution say? What does it say? For anything more than $20, you get a jury trial? No, you don't. We're going to take $5,000 out with penalties and interest, and we're going to take your bank account, and we're going to put a levy on your house, and we're going to send people with guns to take it. And if you resist, they're going to kill you. And you know what? They like to kill people. They like to kill people. It makes them feel manly, and they're going to kill you, and they're going to take it. And Bank of America is going to take houses that are paid for, and the courts are going to take it. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is, because you're going to be responsible. We're not going to put up with you not being responsible anymore as they give $500 million to energy companies for them to steal. And as Obama goes, like the mafia, because that's what he is, and says, you're not a Democratic donor. You've had this Chevy dealership since 1931. This is on record, Minnesota, many other. We're taking your dealership. You can still own the property, but you got to take the Chevy sign down. You got 2 weeks, and you will not have delivery of any Chevy products. And then you give it to your Democratic donor. I mean, these are lawless criminals squatting on us, spitting in our faces, and everyone's shaking in fear going, I can't believe you're talking back to them. I can't believe you're in your face, because I'm done. I'm done. This is not unusual when a bunch of crooks are running roughshod over us publicly to stand up to them. We're in this position because I'm seen as a maniac, because I'm willing to tell them like it is. I'm done living on my knees. I'm standing up, and you need to as well. And call out these crooks. You got local crooks putting fluoride in your water? You go down to the city council, you say, listen here, buddy, you stop assaulting me and my family. Is that clear? Don't you laugh at me, maggot! Let me ask you a question. What does freedom mean? This country, this world, as a case of tyrannical cancer, we either remove it or we die. And they've got us all debating this sinking ship while criminals run all over us, robbing everything not nailed down. I'm going to go to your phone calls. Phone system is down right now. I know I have callers, but it's down, so I may have to write down the callers as they come in. But just briefly, some of the new films we're carrying, so you can expose how they're murdering people and soft-killing others. The Greater Good, exposing the vaccine cover-up, very professional film available at InfoWarsShop.com, or just link through at Infowars.com. Dreams from My Real Father, a story of Red's deception by Joel Gilbert. This film is sending shockwaves across the country. Really powerful, chillingly convincing that they've discovered who Obama's real father is. Available at InfoWarsShop.com. Okay. We'll take calls for this segment, the next 30 minutes. I'll try to settle down. And then we've got a congresswoman joining us who's battling the federal brown shirt goon force. And that's literally what it is. It's a thuggish paramilitary potbelly force sent out to rule. Let's go ahead and talk to Mark in Arizona. Mark, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. I just wanted to say a couple of things. Firstly, thank you. You have been so instrumental in my awareness and awakening. One of the things I've been learning and done at Awakening is learned about research and learned about history. And I've been doing a lot of research on history and learned that history repeats itself. And I don't understand quite why people don't realize that.
Well, because the average person is timid and is a spectator. Their whole life is about watching and being told what to do. And so they have no idea what's happening. They have no idea how much danger we're in. I mean, they have no idea. I mean, the New World Order is killing people all over the planet. And just setting up a horrible re-education system here. They'll find out, though. I mean, don't worry.
Okay. With that said, and with all that's going on, like all that we're seeing unfold before our very eyes, and the things that we've been seeing since just January 1st of this year, I've often pondered lately, I wonder what it might look like in a modern-day situation. Have you pondered or given any speculation to what it might look like?
Yeah, they know to not confront you up front with intimidation and force unless it's a protest, because they want that extinguished, because that can get out of hand. They could lose control that way because it would show our power and we could win. And so it's just going to be bureaucratic. Yeah, we're taking your house. Sorry, you got behind. Yeah, that's just the way yeah, we're taking your kids for forced inoculation. It's just how it is. It's all this, this fake, non-threatening garbage. It's for your own good. We represent the majority when they don't. It's just oily. But, I mean, here we are. It'll mean staged terror attacks, the criminals that staged the attacks posing as saviors. I mean, are you asking what it's going to look like, or what are you saying?
Well, what I'm asking you is, have you pondered what a modern-day, quote-unquote, heard around the world might look like in today's world? Like what happened in Lexington when people finally got pissed off enough to say no more. I've wondered what that might look like today, because the playing field is very different. And it's not going to go down like it did back then.
Well, that's why they don't ever send people marching in. Let's say 200 guys got on a hilltop and they were coming to confiscate guns in some town. And if they just showed up, well, I mean, I'll explain it when we come back. The SWAT teams wouldn't go face a group like that. They would wait and go burn down the people's houses later. You see, that's what they do. They never want to face something head on. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up in about 30 minutes, Representative Marsha Blackburn is scheduled to be joining us. She's fighting the TSA in a big way. Glad to see that she's doing that. Wish Ron Paul introduced some legislation like that. But he is trying to get legislation introduced to audit the Fed. That's moving to the House floor right now, so I guess many hands make light work. The last caller was asking, what will the shot be heard around the world? It will be as things collapse, if the police and military get caught on tape, really engage in a massacre like Waco or something, and that woke a lot of people up back in '93. And got a lot of the modern patriot movement set up that is the only opposition to the globalists right now. So that could be a shot heard around the world. Also, there's more of a velvet revolution of ideas as people just stop complying and as people recognize and withdraw their consent from the system. No amount of airplanes and drones and black uniforms are going to make people, identify with it anymore. That's why in every movie, shows, dramas, America's Got Talent, NFL games, it's all fake patriotism, but packaging tyranny as if it's the patriotism. That's not going to work anymore. The system, though, doesn't want a upfront physical confrontation where they don't have the moral high ground. That's why they will start riots or create atmospheres politically that will induce riots.